guys, this is Orsi and this is going to be my first impression of the deck called The Haunted House, and I'm looking for the box. So this is The Haunted House. There's a flip through if you're interested, if you just want to see the cards. It's not a new deck, I know everybody has it except me. I mean, now I have it too, but before that. This is pretty much my diary of decks anyway, so I can do whatever I want, and I think it's not a problem to talk about old decks, and I'm not sure why I'm so fucking defensive immediately. So it's a Llewellyn deck, right? It's a Llewellyn deck, right? Is it? No, it's a Los Scarabeo, sorry. Oh my god. I meant to say Los Scarabeo because, for my multiple languages, little tiny white book, but at least the cards are not titled in 4 languages anymore, so that's good. I have a few that I selected that I really like, some that I'm like, and some that it's interesting, but all in all, and this was a birthday deck. I got it as a gift, but unfortunately I got sick shortly after my birthday, so couldn't really film new videos. I had some scheduled up that went out, but yeah, I spent the last 2 weeks, I guess, being sick, which was fun. But anyway, so I'm just, I was just checking the guidebook. The major arcana is definitely telling a story. So the deck is called The Haunted House, and it's a very fitting name. I would definitely say that there's a theme running, and the protagonist is also running most of the time. I mean, look at her. When I first saw it, it reminded me of old style Agatha Christie and Sherlock Holmes, those types of murder stories, and I still think the deck is like that. Some cards are not really fitting that theme, but most of them are aligned with that. It has some creepiness to it, like hands crawling on from underneath the deck in the, I don't know if I put that one aside, the 4 of Swords, for example, which is, which is supposed to be like a card of resting, but would you rest if those hands would be coming out after you? I'm not entirely sure I would do that. But it's not that scary, but just if you don't like that, this deck is definitely not for you. The quality, the paper quality, the cardstock quality is not bad. It's not linen, it's just cardboard, but I don't think it's gonna be like horrible shuffleability wise. Nice save. And the guidebook gives a character for each card. For example, the Fool we have a name. She's Raven Vansworth, the protagonist, so it's definitely a fool's journey. And I'm sorry, I know the light is not the best, but for the flip through it should be okay. So there's a story in the running through the whole deck. So I think if you read through the guidebook, you will gain a lot from it. For example, the magician is the butler who holds the key to everything. You can open all the doors, all the rooms in the mansion, because it has to be a mansion. It's not just a house, it's a mansion. The high priestess is the eternal witch, and so on. So there are characters for the major arcana. Of course, for the minors it's not, but there's definitely a story. So I'm not gonna take that away from you. If you get the deck, just read through it. I think it's fun. And also Rumer commented it on oh, what did I? A Dark Grimoire deck that she has these two decks and they play nicely together. So I was very happy when I read that, because by the time that I read the comment, I knew that I had this deck as well. So I'm curious how they are gonna play along. And I definitely want to use them for story writing, because they can be fantastic for that. I never wrote. Did I use it? I know that I used tarot at some point, but I can't remember if it was just in the main story that I did, right? Or if it was just like playing around with birds type of thing. But I know that at some point I definitely want to at least start a story with pulling cards and see where it takes me, because I think it's really fun. So some cards that let's start with the not so good, because I want to end up on a positive note. So there are cards that I the style is a bit like I said, I'm not sure if the light, because of the light, you can see it, but the cups on top, I don't know how you can see them. It definitely, it feels like that this was painted and this was pasted in, which it shouldn't be a problem, but it's not visible on the other cards as much, at least. So for me, that was a bit weird. But because other cards are not like that, the other cards look definitely more painted. There were two like fun cards, the Nine of Cups, and there's always just a symbol and the number, so it doesn't take away from a lot from the card. The Nine of Cups has the original artwork in the background, which I think is fun. Some tarot decks did that previously that I saw. And it's always, just a little homage to the original one. And the Ten of Pentacles has a book which cover is the original card. And I think it's interesting as well. And there are some typical cards. For example, the Six of Cups looks like how usually the Six of Cups is, but some cards are different. I don't really get the Queen of Swords, because this reminds me of Star Wars, of the face paint and the hair. And I'm not entirely sure that I want to bring Star Wars into this one, because it's just such a different world. So for me, that was a bit weird. Maybe it's just me, but that face paint with the hair, it's Star Wars. The Three of Swords, I think it's interesting, like you're actually staking someone, breaking their heart in a literal sense. So they don't turn into a vampire, I'm assuming, because, story. The Ace of Swords is one that, maybe controversial a bit, but like many pointed it out, there's no blood on the actual wrist, so it's not about that. But at the same time, why would you put the sword on your hand in such fashion, especially how the other hand is like stretched out if you're not cutting it for, ritual, whatever reason? But yeah, that's not as bloody as it looks at, when you look at it the first time, because when I looked at the blood in the background, I was like, the Two of Pentacles, Shining. That's a haunted house theme for sure. And Justice is interesting with the nurses, because when I look at a nurse like a dress like that, or maybe not even a nurse, just a maiden, it's kind of interesting, because I think about something not necessarily objective, maybe a bit on a crueler side. but it's in a way they are always, if they are not nurses but just maiden, whatever, I think that doesn't matter. They are there to do their jobs, which can be true if you think about the justice system. I mean, should be true. But it's not bad, it's just it's interesting. And then I have a few not absolute favorites, that's a hyperbole. I really like the strength card because it's looking into the mirror and finding your own strength, and the lion is up here, and of course necklace and everything. I like that one. Hangman with the skeleton in the wall. I think it's very fitting for the theme. Do I have this? No, I don't have the tower. I thought, but the star. I don't even know, it's just the posture, and she is in the water. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but it kind of looks like she's some elemental, like like a ghost or something that like rising up, and it's not fully human. That's how I see it, but I'm assuming it's because how she looks, she's the protagonist, so it's not gonna be a ghost. I like the Ace of Cups, that it's your hands are the cup. It's not something outside of you, it's you who needs to hold those emotions and make the best what you can with them. I like the idea of that. Dun, 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 dun. The Four of Cups with the skeleton hand offering the extra ring, but that's just fun. But I like her expression, because that's a very good Four of Cups. It's really like yeah, I have this, but just looking out the window and just imagining something better, even though that something better is right behind you. The Eight of Pentacles is a very ritualistic Eight of Pentacles, and the witch in me is very pleased with that. And my absolute favorite one is the Ace of Wands, and I'll tell you why. It's not just because how cool the fire looks, but because I don't even remember if I have any other deck where the wands are coming at me. I don't have a lot of decks with perspective. Like I have the Spacious Tarot, which is from the perspective of the reader, and I know that there are I think the Tarot Oneness is one where you're in the cards, so to speak, but I appreciate the ones coming at me feeling, because I think that illustrates the overwhelm that comes with this card, or often comes with the sensation of like everything is coming at me all at once, and I need to react quickly, and I need to prioritize, I need to set like this is the first step, this is the second, and I need to do it quickly. And I think this one gives you that rushed sense of feeling a lot easier than the usually when they are just going, like on the sky, and you can just look at them and then be like, oh, okay, there's a lot going on, but no, this is actually coming at me. So, and I just love the contrast of the dark blue and the orange of the fire. So it's the colors. This whole card is just, it's absolutely my favorite. And I think I'm gonna do that from now on. Maybe I will do that when I have time, because if you look at my bag, this is my entire tarot collection right now. I don't have a lot of tarot decks anymore. I have a lot less than I expected it. Last time when I moved them here, because this is just one row, so it's like, I don't know, 5 or 6, maybe 7 on top, and it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then a few here, like special little collections with the smoke and all the smokish and embers and everything, and Game of Thrones and whatever. But yeah, no, I want to do an updated collection video, because really I don't have a lot of decks anymore. But I was thinking that I will redo my favorite deck video, which I did a few years back now, where I went through all that I had and I picked my favorite cards from each of the decks, which was really fun. It was a bit tedious to make because, you know, I had to leave them out and I had to just sort everything out, but that was fun. But also I might at the same time or after that go through my decks and pick my favorite cards, because I'm kind of curious if there's gonna be some repetition in them. For example, this 8 of Wands is gonna be from this deck. Maybe I have 8 of Wands in other decks, because yes, the High Priestess is my favorite card, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the favorite card from that deck. So we will see. But yeah, I'm just babbling and it's not related to this deck. So I think this is my just, you know, like first impression. I will post a better, not better, a lengthier one or more in depth when I actually start using the deck. But yeah, hope this was useful. And if you have this deck, please do tell me that if it has a special place in your collection. Do you use it around Halloween? Because I know that a lot of people do that, or use it regularly. Anything you want to share? And after, you know, like almost choking on a coffin, because why not? I almost finished the video, but I couldn't. But yeah, thank you so much for being here and see you in the next one. Bye.